Hey everybody, this is Jay-Z with Jay-Z's Reviews, where we talk about books, music, and cinema. Out for a stroll this afternoon. Not exactly the best weather, but anyway, just had a couple thoughts on my mind about some things I've seen and read. First up, it's probably the latest, is M. Night Shyamalan's, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, film, Knock at the Cabin. I would recommend it only because of the fact that if you're a fan of M. Night, I mean, he's just so hit and miss that it's almost like you have to see what he's done to see if he's what his next film is like. Because he does, I give the guy credit. He does come up with some original ideas and stories, but it's pretty interesting. The whole concept. If you're not familiar with the premise, it's where a family of two dads and their daughter are in a cabin, and they get a knock at the door from Dave Bautista, who does great, by the way, in this film, with three other people, and they are sent basically to let the family know that they are going to have to sacrifice somebody in order to save the world. So it's pretty interesting, kind of gory actually in some parts. I won't go into too much detail, but it definitely is one of those films that leaves you thinking. The people I went with, we all had different thoughts about it at the end, so it was pretty good. So definitely not his best. I still think what he did between The Sixth Sense through 2004 is probably his best stuff. Although I did like the one he did a couple years ago about the people on the beach that turned old, but were aging rapidly. That was pretty good. Can't remember the name of that one, but anyway, that's a good film. Hoping I can catch up on the next thing, which is an episode of The Last of Us. I've been watching on HBO Max. I'm not sure if y'all seen that. That's really good. I'm not a gamer, so I don't know anything about the game, but if y'all have any thoughts or ideas about it, let me know. But I do think that the series so far is just excellent. It's brought me back to the hopes I had when and excitement of watching a series back when I did with Walking Dead. I loved Walking Dead up to about season 3, and after that it kind of jumped the shark in my opinion. But anyway, watch Last of Us as well. It's a good series. I think you'll enjoy it if you're into that, into kind of the end of the world type thing. And that's funny, I just talked about the two back-to-back, one movie and one series that are kind of along the same lines. But anyway, I also watched Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel in the most horrible rom-com, Shotgun Wedding. No good. Did not care for it. It just was so far-fetched and just ridiculous. But that's just not my kind of film. I'm not saying it's not something that people won't love. I mean, you know, everybody has their own taste, and that's okay. That's what art's about. It just, in my opinion, was just way too out there. Didn't care for it. It just wasn't funny to me. So just felt kind of forced, in my opinion. But anyway, so, and then a couple of books I've read that are wonderful. I'm also an avid reader. I love the latest book. I think it's her debut novel, Memphis, by Tara Stringfellow. It's a story about 3 generations of black women that are going through a lot of stuff in their life, and they go through some hardships and abuse and divorce, death. They go through the national tragedy of Dr. King being shot and killed, through 9/11 taking place. It's a really, really great story. She does a good job of fulfilling each of the characters, talks about them. You really get into them, and you just hope that everything's going to turn out for the best. And one of the central characters in the story does a remarkable job of kind of getting out, if you would, of the circumstances that they were all brought up in. So it definitely is good. Definitely highly recommend that novel. And then also check out, I thought I had read some stuff by William Kent Kruger before, but what it is I have Tenderland on my to be read list. But I actually somehow got into one that he has written called Ordinary Grace, and it is amazing. It is probably one of my, and this probably right now one of my favorite novels. And he really gets into the characters as well. Just builds on them so well. It's a great story about a gentleman who is reflecting back on something that took place like 40 years earlier in his childhood, and it's really touching and amazing. It's a great novel. I can't wait to read Tinderland because I've also read where that's gotten a lot of great reviews. But anyway, so that's just my few things I've watched this past week and trying to keep up with. I got back into some music lately as a result of The Last of Us. Had a great placement of Linda Ronstadt's Long Time in it. They did a great job with that. Absolutely beautiful. I'm one of those people that love film or TV when they can put the right music with it, and it just works out well. So, but anyway, that's my thoughts for the week. Hope y'all get a chance to watch, read, or listen to some great stuff, and if you do, share it with me. Let me know. Thanks.